What's going on, people? Welcome to 137 Works, and today I thought I would do something a bit different, a random idea that I had that I'm just going to basically try and see if there's any interest in it, if anybody seems to want to watch something like this. But I basically took what I was doing anyway as just a weird little hobby that I like, and the concept of GeoGuessr, and kind of mishmashed them. So, if you don't know what GeoGuessr is, it's basically like a game people play, like a website. I think it's just a website that you go onto. And basically, it drops you down into a random part of the Earth on Google Earth or Google Street View or whatever, and you have to try and find out where you are, basically, with using as minimal clicks away. So when you first land in, you can rotate, I think, as much as you want, but you can't say click to the next step or click to the next location. Like, every time you do that, you lose a point, I think it is. And yeah, it's something like that. It's basically just a game people play, like, and there's people that are really good at it. They can, like, see a sign off in the distance, and then they have the language, and they're like, okay, well, that's Portuguese or everything. So it's either Portugal, Brazil, or just anywhere else that speaks Portuguese on it. So not the game aspect of it, but dropping down into a random part of the world and checking out their cars. And so there's no game element to it, not yet in any way so far. Like, I haven't thought about that like in depth that much, but like basically something that I like to do anyway is with cars and graffiti is to just drop into big cities around the world and just kind of click around for a while and basically just check out the cars, what the car scene is like there, try to find weird interesting cars, or to check out the graffiti. Like, again, I'm a graffiti artist, so like one of the examples that I like to do is go to Dublin, obviously where I'm from, and bring the timer back to say 2009 and look at all the graffiti from around Dublin city from back then, when like there was a lot of the old school artists were writing. Or go to New York and like go to some different places in New York and see some of the graffiti in New York that's happened like this year or last year or recently or whatever. That's the concept in any way. Whether it's actually entertaining, we will see, but hopefully I can try to make it interesting and we can find some interesting stuff. The reason that I thought it was a good idea is because as I said, I'm doing it anyway, and like last night in particular, I ended up in San Francisco just from a random, I was reading something on Wikipedia and somebody mentioned somewhere in San Francisco, and I was like, oh, I think I know where that is. Where is that? And I clicked into it, and then I was like, oh, there's pretty cool cars around here. And so I went to some different locations, and the big thing that I took away from it is San Francisconians, like, or whatever they call themselves, really like the DC2 Integra. I came across a grand total of, and I was like live tweeting it as it was happening. My Twitter is just a crazy place. But yeah, I was tweeting about it as it was happening. I was like, I found like a grand total originally of like 7, and then I stopped tweeting about it because I was like, okay, I'm probably just spamming people at this point. But then I stayed on for another little while looking around, and I found another like 2 or 3 more. People love DC2 Integras in San Francisco. It's bizarre. But anyway, since I know that San Fran is a good location for this, because again, I spent a bit of time there last night, I thought we would start off episode 1 in San Francisco. So what I'm just going to do, as I said, is find a kind of built up area that looks like it has a lot of housing estates, maybe Livermore here, or closer in, just somewhere around here will do. Dropping in completely randomly, and we just get to work and we see if we can find anything interesting. Yes, also we will be keeping an eye out for the old DC2 Integras. Now the funniest thing is, it's not just Integras. People in America, I'm discovering from Google Street View, have a erection for Hondas from like 95 to 2005. Like, you can drop yourself in anywhere randomly, and maybe that could be like a mini game that you play, is like when I drop into somewhere random, try and find how many Hondas from 95 to 2000. They just, something about that age, that timeline, America was mad for the old Hondas. Like, let's play that game as it stands. Without moving, can we spot a Honda from that generation? You might have to change it back to like 2014 or so, because I did tend to find they were more common back then. But no, we actually don't seem to have any old Hondas. That said, that is just the first thing. So now we get started. There's no limit, we just get going. Actually, before we get going, this is what's weird and wonderful about it. So I saved this link. If you just give me a second, I'll cut to it and well, we'll see. So these are the weird, wonderful things that you can come across. That's why I love doing it so much. Just a random house in Bordeaux Lane in California somewhere. This person, for some reason, collects PT Cruisers. A PT Cruiser Touring, a standard PT Cruiser by the looks of it. I don't see any difference. I don't see what makes this a Touring, but okay. A PT Cruiser convertible, and then whatever this thing is in the back, I can't really make it out. I can't really make it out what that is. But this is the kind of thing that I love about this weird little hobby of mine. Why has somebody got 3 PT Cruisers? One of every kind, all in different colours. It's amazing. It's my favourite thing. But anyway, yeah, I had that saved because I was just wanted to show that off, because I like, this is the kind of thing that you can expect to see going forward. But anyway, back to the original. Right, so anything that we can see. Oh, there's a Civic Type Orbit, looks good there. Oh, this is a problem with it, you see. It skips. If you look at the Street View up here, from where we started, we were in April 2021. And then when you get moving for some reason down this street. They didn't go down the street in 2021. The most recent update is from 2019, so that's not ideal. Although we have a nice Merc there, E-Class, it looks like. Weird Toyota truck is in the way. But that looks like a dead end down there, so we will head back out. So this is a problem, like you can see something off in the distance, as I was saying, and then by the time you get to it rather, it's gone. Priuses, nothing fascinating, yeah. Old Merc, kind of cool, not very well looked after. Jeep being reclaimed by the garden there a little bit. Doesn't look like it's moved in a while. Audi buried back there. So yeah, this isn't the best start ever. I was getting a lot more luck in the random places that I dropped into last night, but you know, we keep looking. There's no time limit. I'm just gonna aim to make the videos about 10 minutes long-ish. And what is that? An old... Yeah, kind of cool. It's an old Mustang, maybe. I think it's definitely a Ford. I'm not great with the old, like a lot of the old American specific cars, like old classic Ford and stuff like that. Oh, there's an S14. Not really, I know it's not. Yeah, I'm not terribly great with all the old like American domestic market kind of cars. Oh, it's an M3. Oh, very nice. Not the first M3 that I've come across. This is actually the third, including... Oh, it's convertible as well. Interesting. Yeah, this is now the third M3 E92 that I've come across recently. Since last night, obviously. That's pretty cool. I think it is an M3, but I don't think it's like a 335M Sport. I think the M3 had these vents and those wheels and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a pretty cool little find. So yeah, these are the kind of weird, just cool little finds that you can come across that I just, for whatever reason, find it interesting. And then when you find some goofy stuff, like it's just funny to laugh at. Like those 3 PT Cruisers had me in tears when I actually found them live. Dodge Charger, that's kind of nice. They're like it's a little bit standard. I can't, like, it's got the black wheels, but I don't know, I feel like that might be an option from factory with Dodge. Like, oh, that truck looks pretty cool. What's that? Yeah. Not too bad, no, not great, not terrible. 3.6 Ronkin, like they say. Right, so now we're onto a main road, so I'm gonna have to cut until I get back to another street, but I'm not gonna like come out of this area. Oh, 300C. They got a lot of flack, but I don't mind them. Yeah, I'm gonna stay in this area. I'm just gonna try and get back to like a residential part where there's actually going to be a lot of cars, so I've ended up somehow on a street here. Right, so I went back out to the map and dropped down somewhere in the same kind of general town area, so let's head down this way and see if we have anything. Old Mustang. Don't think it's that fancy. I think it's just a basic enough model Mustang, what it looks like. It's not a GT or anything. What I was thinking what it was like was Doug DeMuro. So if anybody remembers, Doug DeMuro did a special video, might have been on more Doug DeMuro. That truck is looking pretty cool. Where he basically drove around his area in San Diego, I want to say, and just actually went real life car spotting. Obviously, with petrol prices and stuff like that where they are at the moment. Oh, there's your... Oh my god, is that Cresta? That is... No, it's a Honda. What the hell? I was like, no, it's definitely... It's very reminiscent of one of them... Oh, I should have noticed it's not 4 doors, actually. That was dumb on my part. That's very cool, though. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing some weird version of an Accord that they only got over there. Or a Prelude, maybe? I've never seen that model before. And I'm fair... Like, whatever about... And also, I do want to check out that truck. But whatever about old American cars, like, I'm usually decent enough. Oh, Jesus. Okay. This is why it's cool. Like, you go from relatively nothing, and I had to cut a few streets over, a few blocks over, or whatever. But, like, now all of a sudden, look, we've got this weird Honda thing that I, for some reason, thought it was a Cresta at first. You've got this cool truck thing. Okay, I did want to see this first technically, so again, I don't know if this is just completely normal, but when I see something like this with the chrome wheels and they're kind of like, they look like they're on spacers or whatever, like, and the white tires, like, I'm pretty sure this is a custom aftermarket job. So Chevy, I don't know, I haven't a clue. Silverado maybe. Like, but yeah, just having a quick look. Is anything worthwhile down this way before we go down the other street? No. This is pretty cool. Challenger? No, Camaro rather. Dodge Camaro. Ford Mustang GT, fairly modern as well, both in the same house. They have a clear specific taste by the looks of it, as well as a Honda Accord, because you know, in America apparently you also have to have a Honda, you just have to. And then this cool kind of stance by whatever this Honda is. I'm really confused with it. I'm really embarrassed also that I thought it was a Cresta at first. I didn't notice that it wasn't 4 doors, and there was just, I think it was just the lights, something about the rounded big front end of it, and then the lights at the headlights. I think I wouldn't have pegged it for a Honda at all. Pretty cool though. Anyway, we continue on down the street. So that's, again, this is just a random stuff that you find that I love. I don't know what that is. I think it's an Accord. BMW Z3, not very common. Don't see them often, but again, I did see one last night. Not uncommon per se. Like, there's more than one Z3 in San Francisco, I can tell you that much from my extensive research. Ooh, somebody had a bad day there. Lucky. Aston Martin? What? Again, just randomly beside, again, the Honda, because you have to have the Honda, and Aston Martin. As you do. Again, I'm brutal with Astons. It's some kind of like DB7, DB8 maybe. I don't think it's a Vantage. It's also hard to see because it's pegged in between the two other cars. But yeah, pretty cool. On one street, you've got a Ford, like a new Ford Mustang. You've got a new Dodge Challenger, rather. No, Camaro. Camaro, rather. Chevrolet. I just realised I said Dodge Camaro earlier on. Chevrolet Camaro. And an Aston Martin, all on the same street. And a Stance Boy Honda thing. Like, and a truck on the far end. Like, this is the fascinating thing about it. Like, I could just do this for ages. Like, I might just literally do this for like an hour and then just split them up into episodes, like randomly, just edit them into 10-minute segments. Like, I'm always interested in these, the old American version. Like, America seems to have gotten a lot of these saloon four-door Ford Focuses. We got the standard hatchback one for the most part, and even those you don't see a lot nowadays because they're obviously 20 years plus old at this point. Yeah, you don't see a lot of these, but these are pretty common, I've noticed, in America, which is interesting. Porsche what's it called? Macan. Yeah, I was like, it's not the Cayenne. It's not the Cayenne. I was like, it's not the Cayenne, but what is it? Nothing interesting here. I wonder what the hell that is. That's hardly a car cover, isn't it? Caravan, maybe? Interesting. A few little bits and pieces down here. Ah, no! The timing changes. Oh, no, we're back. Okay, we're good. Right, anything good? All kind of standard sedans. Pontiac. Or, yeah, Pontiac it'll be. I'm not sure what model it's. I'm very rough with those kind of era Pontiacs. I was gonna say, like, I think it's called a G8 or some version of a G8 maybe. In Australia, it's a Holden as well. I know that much, but again, not too sure on the exact model. But pretty cool, bit different, bit unique. Continue on the hunt. I mean, it's a Honda, but it's a more modern Honda. It's a Civic. I don't think it's a Type R. No, it's just the basic kind of, maybe an SI Civic. No, it's just base model. Yeah, I forget how kind of sporty Civics look nowadays. This is cool. I do like this. And again, there's no way you can tell me that this is a standard thing. So it is a, I can't see that name. I'm almost certain it's a Chevy in any way, but I can't read the actual model number. That is pretty cool. Nice and stands down, drop down low. I don't know what this is. I think it's a Honda Jazz or Fit. Let's go and check out the Honda Fit or Jazz, again, depending on where you come from. It is a Honda Fit / Jazz. Let's just get a better picture. And it is not anything even remotely close to being written home about. I thought it had like a carbon bonnet and it was all like got a front splitter and all that. No, I think they just maybe crashed at one point. There's definitely some scuff marks there, and replaced the bonnet with just the standard black one. So that's a shame. Ooh, that's a lot of big vehicles and trucks. How could two households need this many trucks between them? There's another one. Okay, interesting. That's a Suzuki maybe? Or like it would be, no, Metro? What is that? Weird. Okay, I don't know what it is, but it's not particularly interesting, so we move on. I am mostly looking for kind of residential streets, because that's where cars are obviously parked on drives or out on the street in front of houses, and that's where they usually find... What is happening here? Okay, right, I'm not crazy. They are just a line of the same Scion XB or whatever it was. Like, they're a pizza delivery place. Okay. Oh god, and there's more of them. Jesus. Okay. They must be popular, doing well. Porky's Pizza Palace, whoever you guys are. Your fleet of XBs tells me that you obviously do enough business to require a fleet of XBs. Right, this is, again, old Hondas. Like, I think this is the stock version of what I seen back there that time. Yeah, the lights are the same. Yeah, that is the exact same car, but just a stock version of it, not slant. Which is, again, interesting. Like, a couple of blocks away, there's the exact same thing. It's the funniest thing to me for some reason, but America's obsession with these old Hondas. It doesn't say, though, it doesn't have a easily readable name badge on it, so I can't tell you. Like, this street is kind of letting the side down. Like, there's been some reasonably interesting things as I've been passing through it. Nothing majorly interesting, I'd say. Not the way home about, as I say. I thought there was kind of an interesting Mazda there, but that's not. It's after disappearing. The timeline has changed. We have a lifted truck on chromes, and it's gone, never mind. It is the one downside when you see something that could be potentially interesting. Right, the timeline has changed again as we came out to the street. There's being lovely there, but oh, there's a GT86. Okay. Stay. Ooh, DC5 Integra. Acura RSX, I think it is called in the US. But yeah, GT86, that's pretty cool. New wheels, Volk TE, not T37s, but I think like either Volks or reps of Volks, replicas. Pretty standard-ish looking on the outside. Oh, it's actually a BRZ. Didn't cop that yet. So it's not actually a GT86, it is a BRZ. Same thing, obviously, for the grand scheme, in the grand scheme of things, like from all intents and purposes, but yeah, kind of a cool Toyota Avalon or whatever that's called. But yeah, GT86, that kind of be... I'm going to try and find one more really interesting car and then wrap it up there, because by the time I edit the video, it's going to be about 10-15 minutes of looking around. Mustang, again, pretty standard. This one is a GT, however. Try to find one more. Is that one more of them? I think that is, again, another version of, like, another base trim level of that Stancy Boy thing that I thought was a Cresta, but it isn't. Maybe GS there. Kind of cool, pretty bog standard for the most part. Oh, another one. Again, we're just duplications of the most random cars. Like, two houses next door to each other for some reason have Lexus GS, whatever they are, GS 300s, whatever. I thought they had it. I was gonna say it's like the house across the road has a more modern model, and that's another one of these. What is it with Americans and old Hondas from this generation? It is a madness to me. Again, it's also not badged. I think that's an SI badge there, so whatever it is, it's kind of a slightly sportier version. But yeah, it's one of the things that I'm learning is that it's just these old Hondas are insanely popular. I'd love to know why that is. I'm sure they were good and reliable and probably cheap or whatever, but just so random, like specific old Hondas specifically. Like again, looking at another one, not that old, maybe just around the later end of the kind of 2005 age range that I'm seeing to find. Pretty sure that's a Camaro. Yeah, had a version of this, the non-convertible version in Forza 4 that I absolutely loved. It was a monster as a drift car, I should specify. Ooh, El Camino. Oh, that's oh, I don't like that. That is unfortunate looking. Those wheels are just way too big. Good lord. And again, not even just old Hondas. Honda. Pretty sure that's a Honda. That might be a Honda. No, it's Toyota. Okay, we're good. Oh, another 86. So again, this weird thing about duplicate cars. That's interesting. Wouldn't be one for the racing stripes now myself. Also, don't like that vent replacement. I do prefer, I love the original GT86 vent. Although it does look like they put the badge from the vent into there. I don't think that's there as standard. At least not in the European models. So maybe not the worst. Black wing is pretty nice. Doesn't seem to have spacers. They're not going like Hot Boy stance. Maybe it's a track focused car, like a grip focused race car. This is a bit grotty, but you know, they put some wheels on it. They were trying. So yeah, I think with that GT86, we'll just get to the end of the street and just see if we can see anything else worth interesting. Oh, we were already here actually. Yeah, that's that metro thing. And down this way, we're checking out before the end. Not really. So yeah, with that said, yeah, we'll call the GT86 last one. So a few weird little highlights there. I got to rant a little bit about my Honda like weird like thing that I've noticed. If any of these cars happen to be yours, please do let me know. And if you do know the answer specifically as to why these cars were so popular, also do let me know, because I'm just like, it's just a weird mystery to me as to why old Hondas, specifically from 1995-ish to 2005-ish, are just everywhere. Look, there's another one. There's a Civic. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. Look, Civic, old Honda, another GS actually though. That's kind of weird. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up. I will. I do this anyway, so I might as well record it and get something out of it. Like, hopefully other people find it interesting. They can kind of catch on like a GeoGuessr type thing where there's an interest in it. But as I said, if you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.